The United States is one of the biggest consumers of bottled water in the world. Between 1976 and 2008, sales for bottled water doubled numerous times. In 2008, 9 billion gallons, over 34 billion litres of water was packaged and sold in the United States. Bottled water is now more popular in America than milk or beer, with the average American drinking about 30 gallons or 115 litres of bottled water each year. There are major environmental impacts from consumers drinking bottled water, including issues such as the manufacturing of plastic bottles, sourcing, pumping, transporting, water depletion, all which are having a devastating impact on the environment and far outweigh any real benefits to consumers. Bottled water in America is a booming industry and looks to persist in the years ahead. Some of the key factors to its popularity include a belief that the water is purer and safer, which has been driven largely by bottled water companies' marketing, which is to confirm the public's fear over tap water quality. The questions answered in this presentation are: what is the impact to the local environment when water is taken? What will happen if this continues? What are the environmental impacts from producing plastic bottles for bottled water distribution? What are some solutions to minimising the impact of bottled water on the environment? The impact to the local environment when water is mined has huge negative effects on the local environment and the people who live and work in the area. This is because the extraction process of removing water is harmful to the spring and surrounding watershed, which can lead a lasting effect on the surrounding environment and local communities where it is mined. When the levels of groundwater are altered, the regional areas suffers, which can extend to individuals and businesses that rely on the water for agriculture, tourism and leisure activities. The extraction also has a negative impact on wildlife in the area that depends upon the water bodies, streams, lakes and rivers. These impacts are even more significant during times of dry periods and drought. What will happen if this continues? The world is running out of fresh water and only half of 1% of this water is drinking water, the rest is seawater and polar ice. In the United States alone, more than 30 billion bottles of bottled water is sold each year. Unless changes are made, between 1/2 and 2/3 of humanity will be living with severe water shortages in the next quarter century. The environmental damage caused by bottled water is by no means limited to groundwater depletion. On average, around 96% of bottled water is packaged in PET plastic. While able to be fully recycled, the majority are not. Out of all recycled materials, plastic bottles are the least likely to be recycled and often end up in landfill, incinerated, or end up as litter in our rivers, lakes, parks, beaches, and oceans. Annual plastic bottle production uses 15 million barrels of crude oil. This could power 100,000 cars in a year. With the low recycling rates, approximately 2 million bottles end up in landfills or are incinerated. In landfill, they can take thousands of years to decompose, especially when out of direct contact with sunlight. There are many different solutions to minimising the impact of bottled water on the environment. Individuals, politicians and bottled water companies can all do their part. Political figures have taken a stand. In 2007, the mayor of San Francisco signed an agreement banning any city money being used for bottled water. Mayors in other states have also followed suit. PepsiCo is reducing the amount of plastic in their bottles in a bid to appeal to environmentally conscious consumers concerned about waste and climate change. These bottles are at least 20% less plastic and will be used for a number of their beverages. What should be our call to action? Individuals can stop buying bottled water and only purchasing if essential. You can also start using a reusable bottle, use tap water and buy a filter. Speak to family and friends about the environmental costs of bottled water and recycle all bottles when purchased. Other calls to action can include signing petitions, demanding safe public water systems and supporting environmental groups.